I would be lying if I told you I didn't see this happening between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. The spectacle that happened on Twitter was something that was been in the oven baking for a very long time, and it finally exploded. And if you didn't think Nicki Minaj was not gonna find a way to step on Cardi B's album release, you ain't been watching the timeline like I have. How do you go from talking about each other's album sales to going to talking about people's pregnancies to even going as low as talking about each other's kids? You guys looked at this beef as more of a Kendrick versus Drake, but I've been telling you the whole time it's more of a 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. Then we quietly went into Diddy getting sentenced for 50 months. And a lot of people feel like that's enough. But is it? Did the punishment really fit the crime? Does 50 months or 4 years feel like enough for what we heard and seen in that courtroom?
The STEM Society.
What's going on, people? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Episode 123 is live. Thank you for joining me. Before I get into any of these stories, if you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys give me a like. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're doing all of the things to help this channel grow. I can't go anywhere without you guys, and I really would appreciate it. And make sure you guys are leaving some comments. Even if you hate the stuff, leave the comments down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Let's go into this Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj thing that happened on the timeline last week. I'll be real with y'all. It was disgusting. It was completely disgusting and stupid. But two of the biggest female rap artists went head to head last week over what I don't know. Let's recap this really quick. I'm going to just give you my timeline of things, and then we can go from there. Everything started from the time that leak call from Cardi B dropped. Now, if you guys didn't hear this leak call, this was Cardi B and Ice Spice's manager going head up, and Cardi was sounding crazy, like livid. I'm going to play a quick clip of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat her ass. I'm going to get right beat up on my niggas. Y'all going to see what the fuck is up. You think I'm fucking pussy ass Lotto? I don't know. Bro, I don't gotta fucking tell y'all shit that she said. Because y'all know exactly what the fuck the bitch said. Put on the phone right now. Put on the phone right now. Put on the phone right now.
Cracking Ice Spice James so they can speak. She about to do this Empire State joint.
Nah, she about to get. Oh, she in New York? She in New York? Tell the link up.
That sounded like she was really angry. Now, Cardi went on to say that somebody else leaked it. She said the Ice Spice manager leaked that call. Y'all heard the same call I heard. She leaked that. Allegedly. Let me make sure I put allegedly on here because they love suing content creators. Allegedly, I'm going to say Cardi B leaked that. It came out of nowhere. That leak came from absolutely nowhere. Now, if you ask me from the very jump, I thought they were going to try to sabotage her second week of sales because, of course, why not? You know what I'm saying? Cardi's not the most liked person in the atmosphere right now. There's a lot of female rappers who don't fuck with her. There's a lot of male rappers who don't fuck with her. There's a lot of fans who don't fuck with her. So for me, it just was like it's a tactic to either sell more albums or sabotage the sales. That's where I looked at it. That's how I looked at it. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, the name of the album is I Am the Drama, so there you go. There's some more drama for you. So once we got past that, Nicki Minaj started tweeting these tweets from the song Magnet. One specific bar is the ABCDEFG bar, something that I talked about in my review, completely saying that was one of the worst bars on the album. But Nicki Minaj continued to do these different little raps. Now, if I'm not mistaken, those tweets got deleted, which is very interesting because sometimes you need to stand 10 toes on what you're going to say. If it's your enemy, you stand 10 toes and you stand behind it, no problem. But then it moved into talking about her album sales and if she got botted or not. Nicki Minaj went into this whole rant about the album being sold for $4.99 and talking about how these streams are fake And if you look at the evidence, when they first said that Cardi B's album dropped, it was her 208K first week. Then there was a problem with the numbers. Billboard had to wait a little while because they had to recount a lot of things. Then we ended up getting a number like 200K. Then it was another number that was 199. The numbers were all over the place. It's mighty funny when you start promoting something being number one and then some stuff gets exposed and now all of a sudden the numbers aren't what they was when you first announced it. It's weird. Here's my opinion on that really quick. I'm not going to buy Cardi B's album for full price if she hasn't put out an album in 7 years. That's just facts. She has only been putting out singles for the last 7 years, and that's been really good music. Now, I would say the last 3 singles she put out have been a bit misses, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to charge me full price for an album that we've been waiting on for 7 years, I'm going to politely tell you to kiss my ass. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you, unless you're a top tier artist, she only has 1 album under her belt. You're going to ask me to pay full price for a second album that I had to wait 7 years for? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that. Here's another point that people don't realize either. Her label realized that too. I think her label was like, we have to sell. We have to show value in Cardi. We have to see the value in Cardi B. So if we can sell this album for cheap and we can get a lot of sales, especially when it comes to physical sales, when it comes to streaming numbers and all that stuff, then that's what we're going to do whatever we have to do to be able to get our return on investment. And that's what her label is doing. They're getting a return on her investment. She been on that label for a very long time and only have 1 album. If you don't expect the label to be able to get their money back on an artist who, for all intents and purposes, and I'm being nice when I say this, who has been very coddled, has been very spoiled, yeah, you got to do what you got to do to be able to get your money back on these people, man. It's not as easy as you think it is. She's not making any more after this. There's no more music coming after this. It may be singles here and there. Let me rephrase that. There'll be singles. She's not putting out a full body of work after this. After that tour is done, y'all not getting another Cardi B album. And that's just my prediction. Then we move into some really weird talk about kids and pregnancy, which I'm not going to read those tweets. That's not my ministry. I'm not finna sit up here and read some of the disgusting stuff that they said about each other's kids, but let me just tell you right now, they went to hell on each other. These two clearly don't like each other, especially when you start calling people kids roach and monkey and then start saying that somebody's kids are very speech delayed and all of that stuff, man. Like, it just got real nasty real fast. We're still trying to figure out where all of this beef comes from, because all the way back when they got into it at the Met Gala, we really don't know what started this whole rivalry between these two and why it got so deep and why it got so heavy. But when you start dragging family and kids and all of this stuff, man, like, that's not cool. And I think they've deleted these tweets since, but why would y'all want to take it to that level, man? I mean, there are some questionable things both of these women have said about people in general.
Like, I really feel a certain type of way, and I'm gonna come for you. Like, if I gotta talk about your kids, I will. If you got rest in peace, this and that, I'm gonna talk about that dead person that you're talking about. I'm gonna really hurt your feelings, like, because I'm very sensitive.
Black girl tragic, and it's black bitches that do it the most. And I don't give a fuck if y'all mad at me using that fucking hashtag.
Get in the booth. Get in the booth and start rapping, bruh. Cardi keeps saying that there are things that's going to come on this album that you are going to want to hear. And I believe this is going to be the album where she exposes the business. She's going to expose everything. Not just Cardi B, but she's going to expose a lot of stuff that she's been saying about Jay-Z, Roc Nation. Like, this is probably going to be Nicki Minaj's last album, because if she goes to a place where I think she's going to go, she's telling on everybody. She's telling on producers, she's telling on Jay, she's telling on Cardi. She's going to expose all of her truth, and it's going to look real crazy out here. Now, I don't know if these are going to be diss tracks, because I've never really heard Nicki Minaj do a diss track. Like, I don't know if she really knows how to battle like that. But I think she's just going to give you guys her truth on this next album. Like, I really feel like nothing's going to be out of bounds. She's going to get into some deep and heavy, terrible things that's happening behind the scenes. and she's probably going to really get blackballed after this. And this is just me speculating, but if you've been reading her timeline and been on Twitter since she's been tweeting these crazy things, it's not far-fetched. One thing that we've had knocked Nicki Minaj for from the very beginning is accepting the new class of women who come in to rap. She has not been very good when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I can understand why. She had it hard when she came in, and I'm not taking that away from her. That was her experience. It was not the best in the world, but at the end of the day, bruh, none of this was necessary. And it feels like I'm dog pounding on Nicki Minaj, but I'm not. Cardi B has had this problem with answering the internet on a lot of different things. Not just major people, but just people who aren't even celebrities. She's gone at them and she's tried to shame them off of social media and so on and so forth. And it's just like, y'all are grown. Grown. You are two adult women. Y'all pampered. You're both pampered. You're both spoiled. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be answering any and everything that goes on the internet. And I also look at it from a standpoint of, y'all got each other's number. Y'all peoples know each other's numbers. Why can't y'all sit up here and figure something out or just run the fade in the back behind some kind of pizza shop in New York? Seriously. You two have been going at it for so long and it sounds so terrible at this point. It's just like, as soon as Cardi has this baby, put your sneakers on, find a pizza shop to go behind in New York, and just run the fade and get it over with. Because you two going to that place when it comes to your kids and families and pregnancies just ain't the way. It ain't what's happening. I hate it. I think this is stupid. It makes female hip hop look bad. And it just feels like you two have really taken it to a place where I don't even want to hear from these two anymore. That's where I'm at with it. I'm done. I want to get new talent. I want to hear what the, like Montaleo or what's the other, Tierra Whack, more from her, or Shay Noir. Like, I want to hear from these girls. Like, I'm tired of hearing from these two grown women who are just spoiled brats at the end of the day. We don't want to know y'all's business like that. And the fan bases make it even worse because they dig up old tweets or old interviews and make sure that the world knows something that we've already known for a very long time. Both of these women are insecure. Both of these women hate each other. And both of these women make sure that they let the world know how they feel. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I don't condone any of this shit. I think it's stupid for two adults to act like this. They have been grown children for a very long time. And I just want somebody on their team to pull them to the side and say, you're doing this wrong or you're fucking up your whole career. So who knows? I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to end up. Nobody should be able to see what was said about each other's kids on the timeline like that. Like, we just shouldn't see stuff like that. So go ahead and get y'all one good fade and be done with it. Be done with it. Diddy got 4 years for prostitution. I'm shocked because I thought he was going to get way more time than that. He got 4 years, 2 months in federal prison. He's got a $500,000 fine as well. And if I'm being completely honest with y'all, he got off easy. And I'm saying that because he's a black billionaire who is a celebrity that was in the middle of prostitution stuff. They were talking some heavy, heavy charges. And to get away with 4 years, he should be thanking his lucky stars because they could have put way more time on his chest than that. I think what he got was a slap on the wrist. I don't wish more time on him, to be honest with you, because the more you look at this case, the more you can see that this whole thing was setting him up to be taken down for life. They wanted to take this man out and prove a point to a lot of other black celebrities and a lot of other black billionaires. And that's just my personal opinion. But, and I'm not condoning what he did because I think a lot of the shit that he did was true. It was too many rumblings behind the scenes for us to think that it wasn't true. But 4 years, And a $500,000 fine really does feel like a slap on the wrist. Reading the timeline, you can see that there's a lot of different conspiracy theories when it comes to this sentencing. And that's why he got the 4 years. They're looking at it like with what he was charged with or what he was found guilty with, he should have got off and he should have went to jail. I mean, he should have went home the day of sentencing. I don't agree with that theory. I think he got a fair punishment for what happened. I don't think the judge sat up here and, I'm lying to y'all. Let me not lie. It's hard not to look past the abuse. It's hard not to look past the manipulation and the exploitation that he was doing. Now, can I speak for the judge? No, I can't speak for the judge. I can speak for me. But if I was a judge and I seen all of that stuff, you got to do some kind of time, bruh. I'm not going to sit up here and let you go home for free because you got not guilty on all of this RICO shit and it just was the prostitution stuff. Like, you have to be taught some type of lesson. And whether you think the law is fair or not when it comes to it, or the judge was fair or not when it came to this, he has to pay for his crimes somehow, some way. I think Cassie's letter had a lot to do with the final sentencing as well. I think with her telling the judge how she felt about being afraid and she could never undo the trauma and all this other stuff, I just feel like that had a lot to do with the sentencing as well. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. It's never, the U.S. legal system is never going to be fair to black people regardless. I'm sorry I said it, but I had to say it. He is a rich black man in the United States. He is a billionaire. He had to pay for something. He had to pay for just being black and being rich. And I know that sounds really shallow, but that is the truth. It is. But you can't erase that videotape of him abusing that woman. And I get it. He wasn't on trial for that. But you gotta pay. You can't just go home. Plain and simple. You just can't go home. And that's not me. When it comes to the legal system in the United States, shit's just rigged. And that's the game dangerous game you play when you have to go up against the U.S. legal system. It is what it is. The punishment fits the crime with a asterisk next to it. The crime that he's getting punished for might not be the prostitution stuff, but he's most definitely paying for that abuse. And he's most definitely paying for a lot of the stuff that was said and done in that trial. And is it fair? No, it's not going to ever be fair. Take it from a black man from America. It is never going to be fair. But that's what he got. And to be honest with you, he should be happy with that because he should be able to get off, or he should be able to go home with good behavior and working out through different programs and stuff like that. And I'll even take it a step further. If he's smart, he will come home and be quiet and not say shit. Shut up. Don't do nothing. The final thing that I learned from this whole sentencing of Diddy also is fame doesn't put you above the law. Man, he already did a few years in jail already. That is enough. Nah, bruh. You gonna learn. Like my mom used to tell me before, she used to whoop my ass. You gonna learn today. You gonna learn. You gonna learn one way or the other. And he's learning right now. So I just don't feel like it's unfair where a lot of people on the timeline are thinking that it is, or, you know, a lot of people are looking at these conspiracy theories. He did a lot of horrible things to a lot of different people. He has to pay something. So the 4 years that he'll be 59, 60 when he gets out. Maybe he can still party and do his little Diddy dance after this, but you gotta pay. You gotta pay for what your crimes are. I think they're gonna try to appeal this, but he's got to pay for a lot of the things that's been exposed. He has to pay for, if not the crime that he got charged with, a crime. They're not going to let him walk out those doors free. So I really just hope that all this stuff kind of cools down after this. I hope that we get to a point to where when Diddy gets out of jail, he can kind of just go off into the sunset and be quiet, because I don't want him to come out of here doing parties. They were saying that it was a speaking that he was going to do if he got free the day of sentencing. It was a lot of crazy things going on. Diddy, if you ever watch this video, which I hope you do, when you get home, sit down, shut the fuck up, and don't get in anything stupid. Please. I want you guys to let me know, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you think Diddy was supposed to get them 4 years? Do you think they went too hard on him? Do you think he deserves no time? Tell me in the comments. I really want to hear your opinion. That's all I got for you guys this week. Short, sweet, and to the point. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will be back here on Wednesday, maybe to give you an album review and some extra news topics. Who knows how this is going to work out. But Wednesday, I'll be back with new video. Make sure you guys take care of yourself. I love you, and I will catch you next week. Peace out.
Like, he say the most ridiculous shit, but it sounds so cold when he just rapping.